So, whereas all the other products that we use, extended focus, polarised single vision distance, bifocals, progressives, progressive sunglasses, they are actually all grind products. They're already grind.
So progressives of
and if you actually look at the handover sheet again, actually look at it, I've actually put it on there. There's actually, so you should never, like if you're ever confused, look at the handover sheet. It says single vision stock finish length, single vision grind. And then all the other ones it says extended focus, and behind it says grind. Bifocal it says grind, progressive it says grind. Just to give you a reminder that that's what it is. And on those ones you actually, all the coatings are being added after the first stage of manufacturing. All of the tinting, all the other features are being added after the first stage of manufacturing. So hence that's where we had to use add-ons. Now what we've gone and done on the price book is wherever possible we've actually taken a lot of extra effort, or I have, to actually go in and put in diamond finish multi-coat onto the base product, rather than you guys having to go, I'll scan and quote for the lens, and then I'll actually go and put in the appropriate anti-reflection coating as an additional. A lot of the range is more and more, and there's a few still to be tidied up, but basically nearly all of them, when you scan it, it's got all of the things in it that's there, so you don't actually have to scan multiple codes and remember to do that. But they're actually being added on as part of the process. So for instance, on some of those ones there, hence you do get, like on a, I think the first lens is an S or Liberty at the moment on the guide, on the progressives. On that one, you do get the option of using a standard anti-reflection coating, which is pretty good, or you've got the one that's got the Crizal UV Forte with the UV features of stopping UV bouncing off the back of the lens into the eye, and it's got the more scratch resistant anti-reflection coating. It's got all the bells and whistles with smudge resistance and water repellent, and so it's got all the bells and whistles. But obviously that lens to us costs a lot, that coating to us costs a lot more to us than the basic coating does. And so as a result, again, as part of wanting to try and make sure we suit clients' needs, someone who works in an office is very good with their lenses, doesn't use them outdoors, they might be happy to have the anti-reflection coating that costs only $80 more than the basic, or they may be actually someone who works outdoors and scratch resistance is important, they wear the glasses all the time, they don't just wear them part of the time, and they actually want to have the best coating they can to make sure they last for a good while with their thing. And so hence they might want to have that next level of coating up on it. So hence you can sort of see there are actually two anti-reflection coating prices on the thing. The more basic ones, there's actually another one in between, but we've actually selected to go, well, people are either going to have something that's pretty good, it's still a technology that's far advanced of what was available 10 years ago, so it's still a very good product, or we're going to have the Rolls-Royce ones. On the photochromatic lenses, the progressive photochromatic, I've just put in the best anti-reflection coating, because the assumption is for most clients, if they're going wearing progressive photochromatic, they're wearing changing tint transitions, then they're wearing them because they're wearing them outside. They're wearing them probably nearly all the time, and they've gone for a convenient option. So for them, having something, because they're wearing them all the time in a variety of indoor and outdoor conditions, they're probably going to be best benefited by having the premium anti-reflection coating that's going to be durable and last long. Because again, they've already invested with a progressive lens, and now they've invested with a transition, an extra $40 to make sure the lenses stays as scratch resistant, and the one that's got the 2-year warranty on the scratch resistance and all the rest of it is obviously a very sensible investment. So we've actually made a decision rather than complicating the price. But yet again, by having the other one, it's a pretty much a, that's our client's best interest to have that level of technology available on that particular coating. So we've made that standard across the price points. Okay, so hence you can sort of see where some of those things are coming in. So as you read the price books, you'll sort of see where that comes in. So grind, so nearly all of those other products, when you see on the handover sheet, you can see the grind, so that means it's easy enough. You can put prism in it. It doesn't, their astigmatism shouldn't matter unless it goes over very high, like a 6 cell or stuff. You can actually see that it's got a range guide of, okay, well if they're -12, we can only make it in the 1.6, we can't get it in a 1.5, and obviously in a -12 it's going to be a very, very thick lens. You want to use a thin technology anyway. So you'll sort of see those things across the guide. So you get better at picking things out, but I think that's probably enough for one session. But it gives you some information obviously on the difference between a stock and a grind, and why we want to use stock where we can. And maybe sometimes we actually upgrade the material a little bit to make sure that we can get it into a stock lens because it's going to work out better for the client, but we don't want to be quoting and selling people a lens for $100 less than it probably should have cost because we didn't get our processes right either, because obviously that's not good for our business, because what that means is we're relatively
losing money.
We gave the lens away for less than it cost us to make it, which you could do occasionally.
Well, you're in business to make money, aren't you? Not to
well, you know, you can't afford to pay staff for very long, or for pay the electricity bill if you give the products away for less than you bought them for it. So, pretty sure basic business principle says that does get a problem pretty quickly.
Yes.
If we make a mistake occasionally, that's normal. We expect you to do so occasionally, but again, by getting very familiar with the lens guide, learning how to do the marking up to make sure that the lens will cut out, and checking against the lens guide that it fits the range, double checking there's no prism, and generally obviously in the handover from the optometrist they will give you that, but again someone will come in 3 months down the track, they've broken their glasses, decided that they will have that other pair of glasses, they decide to use their health fund, and they may not go past the optometrist, and therefore you guys are the one who are dealing with the process from start to end without the optometrist going, oh by the way this will need to be a grind, or this will need to be this. And at that point in time, that's where obviously things can go a little awry. If you're using the handover sheet, well, it shouldn't be a problem. Remember to use the handover sheet. The very bottom section of the handover sheet is all about you guys. It is the dispensing checklist. And if we go through that, and one of the sessions we'll do actually is all about, after lunch, we'll do a session all about that one, which is all about, okay, how to get frames fitting well. What do we look for when we're measuring? What do we measure with the progressive height? What FUD factors do we need to use for the fact the person's short, or because they're in a wheelchair, or because they're very tall, or because they drive a truck, or because it's a progressive sunglass, or whatever. All the information down the bottom is about giving you a little going, yep, I looked at that, I looked at that, I looked at that, yes, I made that adjustment. Oh, I hadn't thought about that, I might double check how that. So it's there to help you guys and support you guys to make sure that you get the clients the best possible outcome every time. Okay, thanks guys, well done.
No, thank you. Should we just let